Hi everyone, so as you know this week is all about what it means to be British and British values. So today, this afternoon on Tuesday, we are going to be looking at what does being British mean to you? So what does our culture mean and what is our culture of being British? So what do you think being British means? Are there certain things that make you British? Is it the way you look, the way you speak, the way you act? I just want you to write down 5 things that you think makes someone British. Okay? It could be anything from their job to their accent, anything at all. I want you to write down what makes somebody British. So if you are British, it means that you are born in either Scotland, England, Northern Ireland or Wales. That's technically, by the law, that is what it is to be British, okay? So perhaps it's traditions that you follow, so things that you like, the values that you have, or maybe it's a British person in history that you identify with, or something that you like, or something that you dress like, or the language you speak. So according to law, being British is being from those 4 countries, being born in those 4 countries, having a UK passport, so the one that we all have, which is red and it has the Queen's emblem on the front and it's got your picture inside. So I want you to watch this video, and it's all about different children that are probably in high school and what it means to them to be British. Some are born here and some are not. Some are born here but their parents are not and they've come over from different countries, but they all still have things in common. So as you're watching this, I want you to write down some thoughts and ideas as you watch this video. So anything that springs to mind that makes you think, oh, that's a cool idea, or oh, I didn't think of it maybe like that one. And I want you to think about what does British mean to you. So what does being British mean to you? So the first thing I need you to do is watch that video and just write down some key thoughts. So, are you still British if you live here, but you were not born here? So that's a question that's on many people's lips these days, that if you identify as being British and from a British culture, but you are not born here, but you are raised here, then are you still British? I want you to write down your answer, your opinion. There is no right or wrong answer. According to the law, you're not. But according to many people's ideals and their values, it can be completely different. So I've got 2 contrasted opinions on the screen in front of you. I want you to write down your own opinion. So, are you still British if you live here, but we're not born here? For example, I could say, yeah, because you live in British values, you have the rights of a British person, you have free speech, and you follow British law. So if somebody's come from Turkey, they don't follow the Turkish law whilst they're here, they follow our laws, and if they do something wrong, they'll get imprisoned. If they do something right, then they'll get rewarded, or go up in their job, or something like that. So it's all through their British thoughts. You can join in with British culture, like eating fish and chips and watching the football, and all these things that add up together, they make you British. However, a contrasting opinion is this one. No, just because you live here does not mean you are British. You must have a UK passport to be considered British. So if you come here from Turkey, you would have a blue passport. That means you are not British. You're Turkish, but you live here. Okay? So there's lots of different opinions, and it stems from if you were born here, if your parents are born here, but I just want to know your opinion. So just write it down for me, just a small simple sentence from going from this question. Are you still British if you live here but we're not born here? Yes or no? What are your thoughts? So on the screen in front of you, you can see the British values that you've probably seen before throughout your school years, but it's made up of 5 separate values. So we've got democracy, which is all about the monarchy and parliament and Boris Johnson, because lots of different countries have lots of different democracy and ways of voting. Some just have a queen or a king, like a monarchy. Some just have a parliament and a prime minister or a president. Some have both, some have neither. It's really, really dependent on that country. But democracy is one of our main British values, that the British public have a vote in who runs our country. The rule of law is number 2, which means we respect the rules of schools and laws of society, and if we don't, we pay the price. We get in trouble, we go to prison, so we have to respect those rules. Number 3 is the tolerance of different cultures and religions. So as you know, Britain is a very varied country. We have lots of different people from all over the world, and with that comes lots of different cultures and religions. And a main British value is understanding those cultures. We don't have to ideal with them, we don't have to believe the same things, but we have respect for them, and we treat that other person with their different religion and their different ideal equally. So that's the third British value. British value number 4, all about respect. Okay, we respect others as we expect them to respect us. So it's that back and forth. You treat somebody as you want to be treated. The mutual respect is a core British value. And then finally, the one that makes up number 5 that you may not know is individual liberty, which talks about our own rights. So we know our human rights and we exercise them beyond the school life. So it means that we are equal and we are individual to do our own thing. So we follow the rules, but we have freedom of speech. We have equality. We have our own sense of responsibilities. They're all our own thing, working together, but most importantly, working individually to grow as a culture and as a country. So there's our 5 British values, and that's going to help you, or it might help you, as we go on to our task later on in these slides. So I know when we're on holiday or when we've met somebody from a different country, they have a stereotype. So they have an idea of what they think we will be like based on what they've heard or what they've seen about British people. So like we always think French people wear black and white stripy tops. We always think that they like eating bread and having baguettes and garlic. We always think about Spanish people maybe having maracas or eating tapas. We always think of Australian people like kind of wrestling sharks and being around kangaroos all the time and playing with boomerangs and having barbecues on the beach. So we've got to think about, what do other people from other parts of the world, what do they stereotype British people as? So I want you to write down 5 things that if you were from another country, what stereotypes would you have of Britain? It might be that we always drink tea, that we all know the Queen, it might be that we all eat fish and chips or roast dinners. So what kind of things make up the stereotype of British people? So there's another link on that video for you, and you can go back on Dojo to find that link about stereotypes, or you can carry on, it's your choice. But I want you to do 5 things that other countries stereotype British people as. So the next thing I want you to think about, if an alien was to land in your garden and you said you were British and they asked, what does that mean? How would you explain it to them? So how would you explain what being British is? And I want you to write that down in your books for me. Your explanation. There is no right or wrong answer, and I'm just really curious as to what you think being British means. So your main task today is that you're going to have 3 columns in your book. We have a column that says absolutely, a column that says undecided, and a column that says no way. So you're going to write those columns, so you can use a ruler to make sure that you separate those 3 columns nicely in your books. Okay? And on the next slide, there are 20 statements. You're going to read those statements and decide whether that statement makes you absolutely British and you absolutely have to do this thing to be considered British. If you're unsure about the statement and unsure if that makes you British or not, you're going to put that statement in the undecided one. You can either write the numbers of that statement or you can write the actual statement out into your column. But remember, there are 20, so there's quite a lot. So you might be best just writing out the numbers of the statement, but it is your choice. And finally, if you don't think the statement has anything to do with being British, you're going to put the number or write out the statement in the no way column. Okay? So we've got 3 different columns and around 20 statements. So the first thing you need to do, after you've done the tasks on the previous slides, you should be going through that now, is write down these 3 columns. So what does it mean to be British? So, we've got 22 statements right here, and you are gonna add these statements to your column. So for example, let's do the first couple together. So you should know the national anthem. Is that an absolute must to be British? Because I know I don't know it off by heart. I know a few lines. Is it a undecided? Or is it a no way, you definitely don't need to know that to be considered British? What about that you eat an English breakfast? So bacon, sausages, eggs, black pudding. Do you have to eat that to be considered British? Or not? What about you speak excellent English? You have to speak the proper language to be considered British. What do you think? So I want you to go down this list, numbers 1 to 22, and write them in your opinion. So again, there's no right or wrong answer, but it's your opinion as to where these come in the columns. Do you absolutely have to know it to be considered British? Is it a bit undecided? Yeah, a little bit here and a little bit there, but not completely. Or is it, no way, you don't have to do this to be British. No way. So what do you think? I want you to write that for me. And if you finish pretty early and you've managed to get through it quite quickly, can you add some more ideas to each of the columns? So it could be that you have a teddy bear, because they're considered quite British to have a teddy bear, because that's where the idea of like Paddington came along. It could be that you wear red, white and blue all the time. Well, not really, because we don't always do that, do we? It could be that we always say that we're from England or Britain when we're on holiday, when somebody asks us where we're from. So there's loads of different things that maybe you could add once you've gone through those first couple. And an easy way to help you remember those British values as we finish our lesson today, I want you to put your hand to the screen so I can see, and I want you to show me on your thumb democracy. So that one means thumbs up or thumbs down. Okay, so if you good democracy in the past, how you do a vote, or like we do in school now, is we raise our hand or raise our thumb if you're voting. That's an easy way to remember democracy. Rule of law, like when you're getting told off, somebody points at you, so you can use that second finger. The third finger, about the different religions and cultures, is that the tallest thing always is meant to be pointing to God, and your third finger is always the tallest of your fingers. The fourth finger is all about respecting somebody and respecting other people, and that can also be your wedding finger. So obviously when you get married, it means that you respect your partner, so that's a nice way of remembering it. And then finally, the individual liberty one is your pinky, so it's your little finger, and that means your little one is all about me. So it's what makes you you within Britain society. So that's quite a nice way of remembering those 5 British values. So now I've spoke about it, you can maybe draw around your hand and see if you can remember them, or have a go at practicing and remembering what they mean. Okay? So this is your British values lesson for this afternoon, and we're going to explore it more throughout the rest of the week.